Welcome to another episode of All About Electric Vehicle Charging. My name is Eric, and today I'm going to talk to you about workplace charging. And so it might surprise you to learn that some people are plugging their cars in while they're at work, and they're recharging that way. And it's quite convenient if you don't have anywhere to plug in at home. And also if you happen to have an electric vehicle with lower range, this is also extremely useful. And so I'm going to show you the types of stations that companies are putting in for their employees to use. And also, we're going to discover at one of the stops we make that if we're only thinking about recharging employee vehicles, we're missing the big picture, because companies are also buying electric vehicles for everything from local deliveries to sales calls, you name it, really. Electric vehicles are happening, and you got to think about how you're going to plug them in at work. I'll show you how. The first stop I've made today is at the National Center for Atmospheric Research in Boulder, Colorado. And here in their employee parking lot, they've got somewhere to plug the car in. They're using a network level 2 station, and this is really reasonable for plugging in at work, I think. I have something similar at my job, and I think that it's really helpful. Let's take a look at that. You can see this is just a regular level 2 station here, and it works quite well for this. You also want to make sure that you have signs up that designate that these parking spaces are for people who are charging their car. And when your car is finished charging, you should come out and move it. Maybe you might do that during your lunch break or something if it finishes up early. We can see the details of this charging station here from the Charging Network app. And one of the things we'll discover from this Charging Network app is we can see the cost associated with plugging in. And it's important to understand that this doesn't need to be free or complimentary, and it's totally reasonable to put a fee on here to collect the cost of electricity from your charging station. And we can see before we even plug in what those fees are. And I think that's really helpful. And here's a location in the suburbs of Denver where the business has a fleet of electric vehicles for local delivery. And they started off with some Nissan Leaf vehicles, and now I've also seen them using the Tesla Model Y. And they have really an assortment of level 2 charging here. There's you can't see all of the stations from this photo, but they've got quite a few level 2 stations, both the networked and non-networked varieties. And so this is wonderful because this is just very helpful if you're a customer or an employee, or of course for their own vehicles. And this is really an impressive thing to see here. I've seen over 30 of their vehicles there sometimes. And then here's an IKEA store in the suburbs of Denver, and they also have level 2 charging in their parking lot. And certainly if you're going to spend a few hours in their store, it would be helpful to plug in. And then there is, that's at a car dealership there, that level 2 station. And here's a level 2 station in the parking lot of a medical office building. And so certainly if you work there, or maybe you have an appointment and you'll be a few hours, then this is a helpful place to plug in. Again, really only if you have a low-range electric vehicle, or if you don't have anywhere to plug in at home, you'll find these to be very helpful. Most people don't need them, though. And then here's, this is a non-networked level 2 station. And that station doesn't broadcast its status through an app, and it also can't collect payment for the charging session. And so that's most suitable for private parking lots, or a scenario where you want to provide complimentary charging. And here again is another of these non-networked level 2 charging stations. And this one is in a shopping center, really, with an assortment of different businesses present. And again, that's complimentary charging. Those stations there can't collect payment from the driver. They're actually quite affordable compared to the stations that can collect payments, though. This is something surprising to consider. And then here's an example of a station that's simply not helpful at all. And that is a level 1 station. And we can see that level 1 is really most appropriate for if you're leaving your vehicle in storage. I don't think anybody would be okay with a more than 24 hours to recharge the car. That just seems kind of silly to me. And so these are really some of the things you'll need to think about if you're thinking about putting in workplace charging. Is really, put in something that's going to be decent, like a level 2 station and not level 1. And I hope this information has been helpful for you in hopefully giving you some information for planning your own workplace charging program. Thank you.